welcome to Kahliya. This is Mia. I hope you're doing well. I hope you can see me. If you can see, there's this ray of light coming in. I really like it, but I don't know if you can see me well because of it. So let's just try and see. I'm going to refer quite a lot to my blog every time I do the videos because for me, there's a dynamic going on between what I say here and what I write on the blog. So please, if you can, read the blog as well, because it kind of completes what I say here, and what I say here completes what I write there. And I find it very important. So, of course, the link will be below. And also, I'd like to remind you that the messages either on the blog or here, the videos, do follow current energies, but are not necessarily time specific. So, just whatever message, if you want to browse, or if a message or a video comes up to you, don't look at the date. I don't put dates on it. There might just be a message for you, so just go for it, just let your instincts lead, and hopefully there'll be a message right for you at the exact moment that you need it. Okay. I'd like to talk to you about what's been going on these days. I've written on the blog this weekend about something that's really, really important. There's a theme going on. I know that it's a bit of a stretch lately, emotionally, but trust me, it is so important. Really, very, very important. On our journey, what is happening these days. So you might be going through a lot of pain, a lot of past wounds, very, very deep wounds that are coming up. Things that have been happening recently have been stepping all over those very, very deep old wounds that we thought have been somewhat at least healed. We've definitely been working on them for years, a long time. And as you surely know, this work is done in layers. We can't possibly just clear it out in one time. But what I would like to say is that what's happening these days is definitely something more profound. Many of you may have actually seen a direct correlation between something that has happened now and specific things that have happened in the past, maybe even through dreams, to help you better understand how it's directly linked, or just you realize it yourself. It does have a sacred purpose, as painful as it may seem, and it is painful. But the thing is, we've been carrying with us this pain for so long, and it's time to look at it more deeply. And it's also time to understand, because most of these wounds have to do with lack of love, abandonment, things like that, and many of us have had wounds like that created by dysfunctional family situations, and perhaps some relationship lately has mirrored that once again. But I think one of the most important things that this is bringing up is that that wound and that hole and that sense of lack that we carry within us is something that we can feel within ourselves. If we feel that we have not been heard, if we feel that we have not been cuddled, if we feel that we have not been accepted or loved or been given attention to or abandoned in any shape or form, it's important now to realize that we can create the space, a safe space, in which we can be there for us, for ourselves. It's really important to open up to our vulnerability, not to close down, not to close our heart, not to become rigid, not to run away from these feelings either. It's important to be there for ourselves, and as we see that we are actually totally capable, there's nothing to be embarrassed about, we're totally capable of being there for ourselves. Not only capable, but it's recommended, because in doing that we fill in that gap and we realize that we are actually whole and complete within ourselves. I'm stopping here because actually I'd like to show you the cards that I used, that I pulled as I wrote about this during the weekend. Okay, so let me show you this. Don't know if you can see it. This is: in embracing the fullness of who we are, we find peace. For every emotion is an invitation to another path. Discovering our deeper beings, our souls will not let us escape our truth. Okay, and another one is: allow your vulnerability. And another one is: gentleness, allow rest, allow healing. And I'll just remind you that these cards are Kahliya's Soul Inspiration Message cards. They are available in Kahliya's online shop, and I will post a link below. Most of my articles that I publish on the blog are based on these message cards that I've channeled. And so in embracing the fullness of who we are, we find peace. For every emotion is an invitation to another path. Discovering our deeper beings, our souls will not let us escape our truth. It is very, very important what we're going through now. All these emotions, it's very important not to run away from them. And like I said, allow your vulnerability, and gentleness, allow rest, allow healing. All of this relates to us being there for ourselves. And, allow yourself that space in time and in place. Obviously, you can't go, to work all gushing and, with all this pain. But what I'm trying to say is create a safe space for you as much as you need it, whenever you need it. That will be creating a trust with the first relationship that you have, and that is with yourself. And that will help you realize, I think that we feel ashamed. We always think that someone has to fill that gap. And I'm not saying that it's not great to be cuddled or to be listened to. It's really very important. And there's a place for that as well, of course. But I think that on the healing process, on the healing journey, it's very important to reach a place where you meet yourself and you meet that inner child that is afraid, vulnerable, hurting, and you meet that child in the original place where it was hurt, so that you can actually, hold it and say it's all okay. Everything's okay. Create that trust within yourself, that safe place that you can embrace that child, and you can actually soothe it, nurture it, listen to it, and coax it to release all that pain that it was holding on, that you were holding on to, and that is blocking your flow today. Because with all the work that you have done along the years, there's still a sting, a very deep one. And the deepest one, the deepest part is still there, because that's the part where you didn't even allow it to unfold. And now is the time, you're all grown up. You've been through quite a lot in life already. And you know that you can count on you. So whatever has hurt you recently, I know it doesn't sound very nice to say has done you a favor, because it doesn't feel like that, does it? But take it as a blessing. Take it, regardless. The person or persons, release them from this issue, forgive them for whatever they have done, as well as the original people that may have hurt you, because they did not know better, and because you understand today that it will liberate you if you forgive and release. If you forgive them, you are releasing the attachment to the incidents, to the hurt, and to that blockage that has been created within you. Because today you understand that there is something blocking you. You've reached so far on your journey. You're dedicated to a path, but you keep coming round to that same place where you feel blocked, or you feel that you create a similar scenario which hurts and which you don't deserve and which does not represent who you are. And so this is such an important time for us now to meet ourselves in total transparency, in total vulnerability, in seeing, what is deep down there, that the real deep sting. How can we soothe ourselves, listen to ourselves, cry, if you need to, A good thing to do is either write, just for yourself, just to let it out. Record yourself, just for yourself. Or just think about it, or use any creative arts to express yourself. It can be plastic arts, it can be music, it can be dance. Just, let it out. Let it out. And then pamper yourself, nurture yourself, heal yourself. You are totally capable of doing that. And as you look at your life and you see all that you have gone through and all the strength that you've had to go through all of this, you can see now that releasing this will allow you to move forward lighter, without the burden, and creating the life that you really want to. I got stuck a minute because I was thinking of the post that I will be publishing today on the blog. And this is the card that I based the article on, and I'll read it to you. I dream a dream. I live my dream, dreaming of more beauty in this world and what I wish to see. I dream a more fascinating dream, that of being more fully me. This is the dream I choose to live. So, I think that there's a meeting point at the moment between these wounds and between the recognition of who you truly are, looking back and seeing all you've been through, seeing how you've been strong, you've been dedicated, you've been loving and compassionate, despite and perhaps because of all your challenges. And look at how beautiful you are, look at the strength, look at all the richness you have inside you. So this meeting point between, the deeper part of our wounds and the part of us all the parts of us that show our beauty and show our strength. This meeting point is precious, is sacred on our journey. And this is a meeting point in which we truly, truly meet ourselves, We're capable of being vulnerable and fragile and emotional. And thank you for being so, because that is the biggest strength that you possess. And in doing so, you have opened yourself to heal. And you have opened yourself to heal others. And you may not see it, you may see it afterwards, but trust me, in your vulnerability, you are healing others. In your capacity to stay vulnerable, where people might think that that is a weakness, that is a strength, because that allowed you to unveil layer after layer after layer of wounds. These wounds can even be, if you're an empath, if you're a sensitive being, you might even be carrying the wounds of generations before you. And you might be the first in your ancestry that is truly facing and healing them. And that's huge. That's huge, you know. So I think that, as I said, these days and this meeting point is crucial, is a blessing, is very important for your evolution and for our evolution, because you are influencing us all in your readiness to heal, in your readiness to confront, and in your readiness to liberate all these blockages and release all that is not truly you, to be able to shine your light onto us. Imagine how beautiful that is. You're coming full circle, you know. It doesn't mean that there won't be more work on your journey, but it does mean that this is a very, very important point on your journey. And just think of that. Think of where you're at now. Think of how you can look at all this, leave it behind you, and move forward lighter in weight and in more light, and shining more light for you and for us all, because you have so much to offer. And I am hoping that you're feeling the excitement and the joy in doing so. So I'll leave you with that. I hope I was able to shed some light on what you may be feeling at the moment and show you that you're actually within the light. So I wish you many, many blessings of light. And I can't wait to hear what you're up to, if you feel like commenting, what you feel, and how you're moving on towards your next steps. Okay? Shine on, my dear friends. Much, much love.